Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I want to continue talking about that Dell Optiplex i5 system that I actually got on eBay for about $110, and it did come with no GPU. So adding in a 1050 Ti and then an SSD boot drive brought the total cost of that system up to about $380. And this is a system that can do a lot of 1080p gaming with very good settings and get 60 plus FPS in most cases. So one of my favorite YouTubers, and somebody that you guys also probably watch if you stumbled across this channel, is actually Jay's 2 Cents. And he recently did a video where he tested out possibly the most popular video game in the world right now. That would be, of course, Fortnite, with the Ryzen 5 2400G. Now, he paired it with 16 gigabytes of RAM running at very fast speeds. In fact, I want to say it was something like 3400 plus megahertz.
3200 megahertz memory that we're actually running at 3466 right now.
And he was really trying to figure out what kind of frame rates you could get in Fortnite with a processor that has onboard graphics with no dedicated GPU at all. Now, admittedly, if you are going the brand new route, the 2400G is a great processor to get into gaming on the PC platform, because you can get up and running without a graphics card, especially right now because those GPUs are still quite expensive. But then you can add one later on, and it gives you a processor that's not going to bottleneck a lot of the GPUs you're probably looking at. Things like a GTX 1050 Ti, 1060s, even 1070s are not really going to be bottlenecked much by the Ryzen processor here, because it does give you 4 cores and 8 threads. Now, admittedly, this is not the cheapest route to go if you're trying to get onto the PC platform. In fact, in the video Jay mentioned, as he had his system configured, that'd be about $550, though of course you can shave off some of that cost by doing things like eliminating the SSD in favor of a hard drive, or by going down to 8 gigabytes of system RAM instead of 16 gigabytes. But today I want to look at this Dell Optiplex through the lens of Jay's video there, with running Fortnite at the exact same settings as both he did with the 2400G, as well as when he paired the 2400G with a GTX 960. Now, for today's video, of course, we're pairing an i5 3470 with a GTX 1050 Ti, but keep in mind, the total system cost of this Dell Optiplex as it is configured is currently $380 compared to $550 for the 2400G with the 16 gigabytes of RAM and the SSD. And of course, if you add the GTX 960 on top of that, you're actually adding more cost to that system build, maybe about, I don't know, $150. I haven't actually looked at eBay's listings of the 960s, but I do know the used market is elevated right now because of cryptocurrency and all that mess, although that's starting to sort itself out a little bit.
Yay us, right?
So let's go ahead and hop into Fortnite. And first we're going to run a game where we have the 2400G settings that Jay used applied to this system. So exactly as he had it set up with no graphics card installed. And then we'll switch the settings to have the exact same settings that he used when he had the GTX 960 paired with the 2400G. So let's go ahead and take a look at how those compare. Okay, so we're in the waiting zone here, and we have an FPS at around 160 FPS sort of running around here. And I will warn you guys as we sort of hop into game here, I am terrible at this game. I don't know the controls of this game. So when it looks like I'm being a doofus and don't know what I'm doing, it's because I literally don't know what I'm doing. So I want to deploy the glider now, and I'm going to sail as far away as possible. So looking around though, we are running at a very high FPS. I mean, we're talking 140 here. So I'm pretty pleased right now with first of all, how the game looks. So it looks pretty great, but also just generally, you know, the frame rate that we're running at is pretty solid. Actually, let's take a look at the map. I actually have to get into the map area, so that's rough. Oh, I'm dead. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. I'm dead. Awesome. Awesome. So that was running. So yeah, that was running at the Jay's 2 Cents 2400G settings. And of course, that system, a 2400G system, is not by any means completely cheap. In fact, the system I'm running this on is significantly cheaper. So one of the things to always remember with PC gaming in general is there are some cheaper options. You don't have to buy everything brand new to get really good settings or good looking games with good settings. there is always the used market. So next, we're actually going to change the settings, and we're going to change them to the same settings that Jays2Cents was using once he used an actual GPU. What we see here in the loading area is about 100 FPS. Now, obviously, that number went down because we raised settings, so that's completely to be expected. And considering the processor GPU combo, really, I do expect the 960 to outperform the GTX 1050 Ti paired with this processor, but we'll see by just how much here. And we are sitting around 100 FPS, so a really solid frame rate, especially when you consider, though, that most people do not have monitors that run 140 hertz. Now, yes, I know a significant chunk of the people that are watching this will actually, in fact, have monitors that are really, really solid. And my audience probably has better monitors than the average PC gamer. However, understand that a lot of people are just running with the standard 60 hertz monitors. You're running 1920 by 1080. So if you're able to hit 100 FPS, you're doing, very, very good there. Please be aware that I'm just awful at this game. Like, I don't even really understand the building concept. I mean, I understand it. I'm not good with it, and I haven't been gathering materials. So there's that. Hello, I just died. So 100 FPS though, with the exact same settings as Jays2Cents, that's actually pretty good, considering that this entire rig that I am running this game on, and this includes the SSD, by the way, costs less than $400. It costs right around $380 to get the Optiplex, the 1050 Ti at current value, and of course those prices actually have been going down in recent weeks. So really, really good value, especially if you're playing a lot of these esports titles like Fortnite, PUBG, maybe you're playing CSGO, Overwatch, League of Legends. All those games are pretty light games. Actually, check that, because PUBG actually runs like trash on almost any hardware, and it will run like trash on this hardware as well. But all these games are able to be run on this system at good frame rates, actually at really good frame rates. In a lot of cases, like Overwatch, I was playing with one of my last videos where everything was maxed out and it was still pulling above 60 FPS. So really great frame rates with this system. I'm very pleased to see this. Obviously, you can go the new route, and there are certainly some benefits to going the brand new route. For example, with the AM4 platform, you have a more of an upgrade path, especially on the CPU side, whereas if you go with something like an older generation, like a third generation i5 here, your only upgrade path is to buy a used i7 and slot that in, which is 4 cores and 8 threads. Whereas with the Ryzen system, you can upgrade to an 8-core 16-thread processor down the road. Now for purely gaming, that might be a little overkill, and the i7 third generation would still do just fine in the vast majority of all games. But if you want to do more with your PC than just gaming, then this type of used platform is probably not for you. On the other hand here, you actually have full access to pretty much any modern GPU with this chassis. If you wanted to upgrade to something like a 1060, 1070 down the road, you would probably need to just replace your power supply, and you can find for about $40 a power supply that could support something like a 1070 down the road if you ended up needing the extra graphical power. So there is some upgradability to this system, certainly more than obviously your standard run-of-the-mill console, and that's aside from getting onto the PC platform, which is just, for my money, the best gaming platform just because of the benefits it gives to gamers as consumers, whether it be free online play, upgradability of systems, that sort of thing. So if you like this video, give it a like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. Let us know if you are somebody that has used the used PC market before. Maybe you buy certain components used and others brand new. Let us know how you use that used market to your advantage as a consumer or as a PC builder down below. You can, of course, follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Hoosier Hardware, and as always, I'll let YouTube queue up a few more videos around the screen from my channel for you to watch. I'm Shane with Hoosier Hardware, and I'll see you guys in the next video.